Turn it off. Hey guys, welcome back to Melissa's Cricket Creation. I know we're going live a little late this week. I had to drive to Monroe, but we're gonna have a great show tonight. We're gonna talk about the man who shot up his family over his stimulus check. Of course, we're gonna talk about Paige and Chris from Married at First Sight and the madness that's still going on with that situation. And we're gonna end it off with Mr. Kirk Franklin and
What you talking about? You don't end no need.
but I'm fine stuff. And we're gonna talk about tips and how to find your first sale. So that's what we're gonna do for our the craft portion. We're gonna go over tips. And if you're in the chat, go ahead and type hi and where you're watching from, so I know you're here. And we're gonna get started with this week's sipping craft. Okay. So is it 9 o'clock yet? It's 9 o'clock. I need it still. It's 9 o'clock on the dot. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So this week in Boss Beginnings, if you have not joined Boss Beginnings, go ahead and join Boss Beginnings. There was a question about how do you get sales? Like when you first get started, or maybe you've been doing it for a while and you feel like that you're not quite getting the traction that you want and that you're not getting the sales that you want. What are some tips and some things that you can do to maybe get your first sale? First, I want to say congratulations on starting your business. I know that's a big step for a lot of us. And it just takes a lot just to put it out there that we want to have these sales, okay? So go ahead and put hi down there and like this video, all right? But some of the things that I do to get sales, hey, Curls. Some of the things that I do to get sales, even though I've been in business for a while, is number one, create a social media presence. So you need a Facebook page, a business page, not your personal page, a business page that you can direct people on, okay? Number two, not gonna work in here. Sorry. Number two, you have to post consistently. You have to show up for yourself daily, okay? I would say at least post twice a day on your social media because that's the only way your customers will see you or your potential clients will see you is if you're posting consistently on your page and that you're showing up every day for yourself, okay? So step one, make sure you create a business page. Step two, show up for yourself weekly by posting at least twice a day on these pages. Number three, join some groups, okay? You know how many orders I've received because somebody in a local group, because somebody in the group said, hey, can anybody make these t-shirts by Friday? Can anybody do this by Saturday? Da, da, da. That gives you a great chance to jump in there and say, yes, you can do it. And you can help them out and build your repertoire. This is another one that a lot of people don't like to do, but it works really, really well. And, you know, this what happens in multi-level marketing. Make a list of the people that you know and call them and tell them about your new business and ask for their support. I know it's a humbling experience, but do they have a birthday party coming up? Somebody, you know, a family member, a close family member, a sister, a brother, auntie, or uncle. Do not be afraid to ask for their business and don't be afraid to post your work. So once you get them to, like when I first started doing coloring book t-shirts, I didn't want to just make it and don't have anybody to have it, right? So I contacted family members. I said, hey, will you buy a coloring book t-shirt from me? And then when they did, I had work to show, okay? And so this way I could post this work over and over again without actually spending money out of my pockets and people could see it. And just because you posted it once, remember, that doesn't mean people saw your work. Post until people know who you are. Just keep going. Just keep going. They get tired of you. Oh, well. You're trying to get your name out there, your brand out there, and you want to be taken seriously. So in the beginning, if you're trying to get sales, create your social media page. Show up every day, create a contest or something. Join Boss Beginners. All right. Ask for people's business. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask for their business. And when I say show up, I mean show up, post until people get tired of you, okay? If you have any questions, please join Boss Beginnings and we can discuss more on how to get your first sales or how to get your sales up, okay? And plan. All right, so now that we have that the way, we're waiting on some of our guests to show up, but I guess some of them will be a little late. So we'll go ahead and get started. I want to get started with the Chris and Paige from Love and Marriage, Married at First Sight. if you're watching this and Married at First Sight is something that you would do, go ahead and put a one in the comments. To me, I would do it, but see, if you join Married at First Sight, you can't have kids. Even though Chris broke the rules with that, right? Because Chris, he technically, hey Kendra, I'm at Kendra's house, but he technically had it. Not technically, he had a kid, right? Chris had a kid on the way. He said he didn't know, but whatever. So just a quick recap before I tell you about what was going on with Love at First Sight. I mean, Marriage at First Sight. So there's different couples, and there's one couple called Chris and Paige, right? So first day that Chris and Paige get married, Chris looks at Paige and he tells her he's not attracted to her. Now, I know you're saying like, hey, that's the dice that you roll when you sign up for these type of shows. But the the sad part is he slept with her twice before he told her, and then he came back and he said he was having a panic attack about thinking about being with her, and he just had to be honest. Okay, just disrespectful. He had to be honest and let her know that he wasn't attracted to her. What that tells me is Chris is playing mental games right from the beginning. Okay. So not only did he tell her he wasn't attracted to her, then he came back the next day and told her, oh, yeah, I used to be engaged. As little as 6 weeks ago, he was engaged to his ex, Mercedes. All right. Then the next day, day 4, he tells her that his ex is pregnant. All right. So she had to deal with the fact, and she kept going because she told my God wants them to be together. I beg to differ. I think that's a little devilish. But so she kept going when he told her he wasn't attracted to her, which is a problem within itself. Then she still was okay with the fact that he was just engaged not too long ago. And then there was a baby coming. And what she said was she was a ride or die chick and that she didn't mind playing stepmom. Mm-hmm. Now, if you find out the person you just married has a baby on the way, does that change your ideas about him? Do you think it's okay? Would you stick it out with somebody? I mean, I know this is a special circumstance because they didn't know each other beforehand. So do you think if you were in Paige's situation and the person that you were paired up with tells you that not only are they not attracted to you, they were just engaged 6 weeks ago and they got a baby on the way, would you be okay with that? Because I don't think I can. I think Paige is a classic example of a lot of women because, as soon as I say something negative about a man, what's one of the first things they're going to say? That's why you ain't got no man. So it's like they place worth on women based off the relationships that they have with men. And so I think that Paige is another woman who places her worth on her relationships with men. And so she sees having part of a man, which that's what Chris is, part of a man, better than having no man at all. So she's willing to go through the whole, I'm not attracted to you, I got a baby on the way, I pretty much lied about everything to get on here, just so that she can have a man, okay? And so she works through that or whatever. And then Chris just flat out tell her, like, hey, I think I'm going back with my ex because she's having my child and I want to, be there to raise my kid. And so he goes and talks to his pastors and they all say, well, Paige is a diamond. You should probably try to stick it out with Paige. And even though I'm sipping, even though they try to advise him to stay with Paige, he's not really interested in it. And he gets mad because they don't agree with him because he's trying to play victim and I just want to go raise my child. Well, they told him that he made, before God, he decided he wanted to be with Paige and that, he could still raise his child even if he was married to Paige. But he wasn't trying to hear that because he wanted them to believe, to actually go with what he says. And so he said he didn't want to be with Paige anymore. So once Paige and Chris have this counseling and she talks to Chris or whatever, and she tells him that they decided they want to be together. Chris says, I'm just really scared of falling for you. That's why I'm doing this. And Paige is smiling after she didn't curse him out. Well, she didn't curse him out to his face, but on the screen she cursed out and all that stuff. She's smiling and she's excited again just to have a piece of man back. That's all she wants. She just wants a piece of man. And so so she go ahead and she tells him, well, what should we do or whatever. And so this is the bombshell, okay? And I'm gonna wrap this up so we can go on to the next ones. But this is bombshell. They decide to meet up again, and when they meet up again, I think Paige is under the impression that they're gonna get back together. But initially, he says nothing's changed. I still don't want to be with you. I missed the part. She meets up with his child's mother, the Mercedes lady, and she exposes to Mercedes that her and Chris have been having unprotected sex, and that it was a possibility at one point that she could have been pregnant. And so Mercedes was like blown because I didn't understand why they were meeting anyway. If Chris and Paige were over, what's the point of Paige meeting Chris? See, I think, as I said before, I think that Paige, that Chris and his ex Mercedes, I think this was all a ploy. I don't think they had ever broken up. I think they wanted to put him on the show, and I think they thought that him saying he was going back to be with Mercedes because she was having a baby was going to be victorious, and people were like, "Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's going to be there for his family and kids," and that's not how it worked out. So I think that they're trying to save face right now, and they're trying to. That's why he keeps toying with Paige, like he actually cared about her. It was just this difficult decision because his ex was pregnant, who happens to miscarry now. I think it was fake. I think it was staged, and I think they did that just to get Chris on the show. But Paige loves torture because the very next episode, her and Chris meet up, and she says, "Let's start over again. Let's love each other like we should be loved. Let's try this again." And how many of y'all would be that Paige? Do you think that Chris might actually like Paige, or do you think he's, if you watch Married at First Sight, do you think he's just toying with her, or do you think Chris might actually like Paige? Well, so as I was saying, so they meet up, and Chris Paige said, "Let's start over again." And the heartbreak that I felt when she said that, I was just so angry. It was like at first I was mad at Chris, but my anger was transferring over to Paige because I'm like, Paige, what are you doing? This guy has played you time and time again. And then he said he doesn't even want to call her every day. And she's like, well, what's comfortable for you? I can't understand it. I can't feel it. I can't appreciate it. It's frustrating to see somebody get played on national TV because I feel like at least, even if, Paige didn't want to be with him or whatever, if Paige really did want to be with him, if you're on TV, at least front for the cameras. But nevertheless, she decided that she wanted to be with him again. And what did he do? He showed up in true Chris fashion and said, well, I just want to let you know I just bought Mercedes, which is his ex, a Mercedes because she's pregnant. And I want her to be comfortable while she's pregnant. Now, I think Chris is lying again. I don't think he had Mercedes money because I heard his franchise was not doing too well. But I think this is just another wrench. I think he's trying to make Paige leave him so he won't be the bad guy. But Paige is so desperate to have a man, which is so sad to watch, that she's willing to hold on to him no matter what. And just to see her going, her keep going back and forth with him is really heartbreaking. And I hope that Paige gets the self-esteem that she needs. I don't know if we need to have Bible study or Bible prayer and pray her away from Chris because she keep blaming whatever God has for me. And I don't think that has anything to do with God. Everybody that you meet wasn't sent by God. Okay, the devil got some pull too. So definitely, Chris wasn't sent by God. Okay, so she could just go ahead and stop saying that. She keep going for Chris. She keep pulling Chris in. They ain't got nothing to do with God, and she keep bringing him up. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Married at First Sight. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. I think we should do a petition to give Paige her own, series or whatever. She needs to be able to find love without Chris, because Chris is not really into her and he's just playing this game. At first I thought, well, maybe he does like her, but then I was like, that's me being dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course he doesn't like her. That's me thinking that he just trying to save face. But the more I think about it, I think it was all staged, and I think that he's just trying to leave on a good note. So he's trying to make Paige leave him instead of him leaving Paige so that he can be victorious at the end. But if y'all have not checked out Married at First Sight, I don't get paid for pushing the Married at First Sight, but if y'all have not checked out Married at First Sight, please do check it out. It's a really interesting thing. And whenever they allow people with kids to be on there, I am going to sign up because I think that would be pretty cool. All right. So I was waiting on our guests. They said it was going to be a little late today, but we 15 minutes in and they're still not here. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next topic. Okay. So I know it's some sad news if you guys had heard about the broke man that decided that he wanted to. Maybe she thinks that maybe his love will grow for her. Well, that's what she keeps saying. But we know that that's not how life works. She keeps saying that they can grow to love each other, but that definitely won't happen. Okay, but let's move to the sad news that we got about the young man that decided to kill um four family members. So to stage this guy, I don't know his name, but he killed four family members of his child's mother. What's his name?
Half Acre.
Half Acre. Yeah, his last name is Half Acre. I don't know his first name. Y'all know his name. Put in the comments. Half Acre. So what happened is, we all got our stimmy, right? And we got. Well, I'm sorry. A lot of us have our stimmy, okay? And we got an extra $1,400 per child. So a lot of men, what I'm seeing is, I know that a lot of men that haven't been taking care of their kid feel like because they put in a good 5 minutes, that they should be entitled. What's in the cup is some juice. Jeremy, you want to come up? I can send you a link. I need a guest. Can I bring you up, Jeremy? But they want to see the young man. He wanted half of the stimulus check. Okay, so what he did, he went to his child's mother's house. He demanded half of her stimulus check. She said, "No, you haven't been around." But let me tell you how kind women are. Okay, Jeremy, I'm sending you a link. Invite a guest. I'm just gonna put it in the comments, Jeremy, and you could just come up. All right, I'm about to post a comment. And just click that link, Jeremy. But yeah, so we'll let Jeremy come up. If can you is the link active? Can you click it? Let me see. Yeah. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna let Jeremy come up real quick. But yeah, so he went and he demanded half of his mother's child's stimulus check. But she was so nice and thoughtful because as women, we often sacrifice more than we get because that's how we've been trained, is to be people's stepping stool. And okay, go ahead and click the link, and then I'll bring you on. But But yeah, that's how we've been trained to be people's stepping stool and always be kind and understanding and all this foolishness. And so she actually agreed to pay him $450, even though he hadn't been helping raise the kid or whatever. She actually agreed to help him. But that wasn't enough for him, right? Because it's never enough for them. He wanted, half of the stimulus because he felt like because he put in a couple of seconds of work that he deserved half of her stimulus. Were you able to click it, Jeremy? Let's see if it'll let me. All right. All right. So yeah. So he thought that he deserved half her stimulus, even though she said that she would give him $450. So he started going through her stuff, and it's this big chaos. And they say he left. And I guess sometimes, we don't feel like our loved ones would hurt us like that. So I guess that's how she felt. She felt like he would never really hurt her like that. So they didn't feel alarmed. They didn't lock the door because they said he left and he came back. And when he came back, he Jeremy, are you able to click the link? But when they said when he came back that he actually let me see. 1 second, guys. But they said when he came back that her brother stood up for her and said, "No, she told you couldn't get the money because he was going through her purse." They's like, "No, you can't get the money." And her brother, so then he pulled out his gun. He shot the brother. He shot the auntie. I think her cousin was there. He shot the cousin. Now they're saying he didn't shoot at her oldest daughter, but maybe she jumped in. Wait, but nevertheless, he shot and killed her. And I don't think that he actually. I don't think that he actually meant to. Hey, Jeremy. There you go. All right, Jeremy.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You static in just a little bit. Check your Wi-Fi. You might have to get off your Wi-Fi.
How about now?
Okay. Can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for having me. I feel so special.
Huh?
I said I feel so special. How I just get the how I get the privilege. How did I earn the privilege?
Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad you came. Olivia told me what you said. You thought about my Coming to America breakdown. We'll do that another time.
Yeah,
Guys, if you
another
have
time.
not seen my Coming to America breakdown, go watch that last video. It just gave, I just read what I saw in the movie, okay? What I saw in the movie, I just broke it down. But we'll do that another time.
Another
But
time.
We're discussing right now the young man, you said Arch, what's his name?
Half Acre.
Half Acre, who killed 4 people over the stimulus check.
That's
all
heavy.
Right, so he shot all these people. He shot his child's mother, and took her and his child to the car. And then he went back in to finish off killing people who was inside. At that time, she got out of the car. She ran to call 911. She did leave her child behind. I'm not going to judge because I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I would like to think I would have took my kid too. But I'm not going to judge because I wasn't there. And she went next door to the neighbors. They called the police for her. Before she could get back to the car, the broke man had gotten in the car and drove off with the child. Luckily, the child was unharmed. His child, he didn't harm him. And they were able to save the baby. But 4 lives were lost. And I think that goes back to, previous topics we talked about. It's dangerous to date broke. What do you think, Jeremy?
Damn.
The baby didn't die. The oldest child did.
What do I think about dating broke? You asking what I think about dating broke?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, I mean, I don't prefer it. I know about if it's dangerous, but yeah, I mean, people are crazy about money, so I guess it could be dangerous. You gotta know who you're getting involved with. I look at violent tendencies like just from like I guess childhood stuff that I know. I look for violent tendencies like right away with people, friends, partners, whatever. Like if people got like little hidden tendencies and stuff like that, they violent. And yeah, when money is involved, people who ain't never had it gonna do whatever they feel they gotta do to get it and I guess keep it. Get more of it when they feel like it's low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna try to go at a scratching cloth for it. Like you tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, if you invest your money here or if you do something to grow your money or get educated in a way you can make more money within a long period of time, they'll be like, nah, I ain't about that. Like I ain't trying to put in that type. But then like they'll do something crazy to, you know, uh, ruin a whole situation for themselves. Maybe ruin their life. Maybe ruin a relationship. Like depending on the level, for a quick buck. You know what I'm saying? Rather than play the long game, is a lot of people rather take that short route. And if it's low hanging fruit, so I guess homeboy had access to a firearm and he knew where they was at and he felt like he could get that money real quick. So that was it. I don't know if you could have convinced that brother anything about, investing the money that he did have or, doing something to get some money like rightfully, like some, you know what I'm saying? Like play some type of long game. So maybe just that. Or what do I know?
Okay. And so, I think like when women talk about, not wanting to settle and not wanting to date men under a certain income level, I think a lot of times they're villainized. And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like short this whole conversation, but what I'm saying is, you know, by you telling people you need to settle, you need to do this. Like when you settle and you date people that might not be on your level, because I feel like we taught women that they don't have a man, that their worth is put in, the relationships they have with men,
Yeah.
that we leave them vulnerable to situations like this, because then people start to believe that they need to just be in a relationship. Like, I mean, I don't know her mindset. I don't know why she dated him. I do know that he had been in jail before this for shooting a man 5 times, and we always told to give people second chances, and that maybe you should lower your standards if you want to have a man, and all that type of stuff. And I think when we teach people that, when we teach people to lower their standards, when we teach people that part of a man is better than no man at all, you may have had him once, but I got him all the time, all that foolishness. I think that
Where?
indirectly we're putting people at harm's way, because we're teaching women not to rely on our natural instincts that we get about people, because he has it hard. You need to stick it out. You need to be the ride or die. You know, and it, now this is like extreme. I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen every time. This is really just a sorry individual that took lives in his own hand. But I'm just saying, if you look at the bigger picture of teaching women to, like, lower their standards, be happy just to have a man, give him a chance. Men have
Where do
had it
you?
so hard. We
Yeah.
have to like work with them and be their ride or die. Like, I feel like women are vulnerable to be in these type of situations because that's what's preached to us. What do you think?
From where? Like preach from where? Where do you think that? I'm not a woman, so I'm asking. Like, where do you think that teaching comes from? Like, where do you think women hear that, or where do you think that sense comes from?
Okay, you're on the delay, so if I'm paused, that's why it's on the delay.
Yeah.
Um, I think it starts at birth. I just think like little boys are encouraged to have multiple girls. Oh, how many girlfriends you have? Da da da. Little girls are told, you don't just worry about your books. Don't worry about this, da da da. And then once you hit a certain age, it's like, do you have a boyfriend? You don't have a boyfriend? Oh, I have all A's in class. Oh, that's great. So you haven't found anybody there? Are you married yet?
Do you think it's like
Are you,
family?
like, I can come to my class reunion. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, like my drink cures cancer. They be like, oh man, that's awesome. You're doing great things. Do you have a man? You know what I'm saying? Are you married? How many kids do you have? Da 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 da.
Let me ask you a question. Did you go to a class reunion? Because that's the second time you done brought up a class reunion in 2 weeks. Did you go to a class reunion?
It's gonna be awkward because it's on the delay. I haven't been to one. I'm sorry.
Maybe if I switch
That's
headsets.
just
Hold on a
that's
second.
just an analogy that I like to use.
I got you. Let me
I
switch
did
headsets. I
go
think it
to
might help.
one. I'm 38. Okay. All right, Jeremy's gonna switch our headset. But yeah, that was definitely a sad situation. Y'all have people lost their lives over a sibling.
This any better? Any better?
Still
Still delay.
okay in my friend's house, and I can hear you on her phone, but I can't hear you like live. So then I have to wait and let it play over here, and then I hear you there. So it's like a delay.
Dang. Um,
Colonel said
I could try to.
I can't doing it now. Right. That's what he's doing. He's telling women, like, this woman makes $100,000 a year. All she said if she wanted a man, I don't mean she's going back to nothing like that. All she said if she wanted a man that makes the same amount she made or more, and she was villainized. And how y'all now there's
I don't think there's nothing wrong with
okay.
that.
What about now?
What? You sound better?
Is that better?
I think so. Like you live when you talk. Like I can see your mouth move as you talk. So
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. What you just said, like a woman want, or like anybody wants somebody. I try to like just see it as all equal. So I don't want to get it. Like I think it should be like the same. If a woman wants somebody who make the same amount as her around the same, I think it's all about values. But I mean, if she values somebody who got the same income, you know, wrong with that, and it wouldn't be wrong with nothing like that for a man. Now because of society, it's harder for a man to have that kind of thing because we know now. I mean, because of powers that be, women historically make less money than men, so it would be harder for a man to like say that like I need a woman to make as much money as me. Like that's you really got to be realistic with it. So it's maybe easier for a woman to say that, but because of that, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. So it's maybe easier for a woman to say that, but because of that, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
You don't think anything's wrong with what? I didn't hear that other part.
Oh, I guess I don't know why you would say something like I want somebody who make the same amount of money. Like that's a weird quality to have, but I guess there ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not bad. It's just weird as hell. I don't know why you would say something like I want somebody who make the same amount of money. Like, that's a weird quality to have, but I guess there ain't
Really?
nothing wrong with it. Like you should be looking at different things. Like, what does it matter how much they make? Like, right? Because what if they just left the job because the job wasn't nothing to them? Now they got to work their way back up. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, we really just cutting out old dude because he's starting over in his career. He's a great guy. He's starting over in his career. Like he's career driven, but he decided that job wasn't right for him, so he left 100,000 a year behind to start back at 50,000 doing something that he loves to do. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna like feed his soul. So you looking at right now, he makes $50,000 a year. He don't make enough, but this man just like is on a soul search. You know what I'm saying? Like he's following his soul, and you looking at his income. You selling yourself short. Like you missing out on somebody great. You know what I'm saying? Like with that one qualifier, you selling yourself short. Like you missing out on somebody great.
Okay, can the same thing be said for men who have preferences of like women that aren't, a certain beauty aesthetic, So like you might be missing out on a great girl because you prefer lighter skin and wavier hair. Uh, and you just decided that this is your type. So because if I have a type financially, I'm wrong or I'm missing out. But a man who has a type of a certain skin color and a hair
Uh huh.
texture, that's just
Uh
his
huh.
preference. And we need
Right.
to learn to live with that. What do you think about that?
So yeah, I would agree. Yes, he's missing out on like probably a somebody who might like meet that soulmate level because he's just kind of has that tunnel vision. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's totally his choice, just like that's that woman's choice. So you're right, but I mean that's their choice. They're gonna find it's gonna be much harder for them. They're gonna have a lot more trials and errors than trials and like successes. Being shallow in that way. See, we agree more than we disagree, Melissa.
So do you feel like that you got that you're actually living these words? Do you feel like that you're telling your friends this, or you can't hear me?
No, I'm saying you talking about me.
I'm still on delay. Do you feel like that you're actively preaching this to your friends? Or is this something that sounds cute to come say on my show? I mean, because I just feel like what I found in doing this show is that I get a lot of men on here, and I
Mhm.
know some of them personally. I don't know you personally. I know you through somebody, so I don't know you
Right.
personally. So I don't know a lot of your backstory, right? But I know a lot of the
Mhm.
people that I bring on here personally, and they like no lie, they come on here and project this one person. But I know
Yeah.
them in real life. That's not
Okay.
my place to call you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not you
Okay.
personally, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's not my place to call them out. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like people sit here and they say the Wakanda answers, or they say the
Wakanda.
women, the pro women answers. But in real life,
Uh
I
huh.
know that's not what you do. You know what I'm
I, f-
saying? So
I hear you.
not you. I'm saying,
I hear you.
okay.
Yeah, I hear you, and that's fair. So I give a little bit about myself, like, cause it ain't this ain't just like lip service or whatever, and like I also let people who they gonna be, but like, so I'm 31. And like everything that I talk about on your show, like I like your show and I like listening to you, hearing what you got to say, just hearing this other perspective. I'm somewhat newly single, about 3 years. I was in a committed relationship for 7 years. Before that, I was like all the dogs that you're talking about. I was the dude who just wanted the girls with the thick thighs and the long hair and the pretty eyes and stuff like that. I was real shallow in that way, and every girl that I met was wrong for me because I wasn't looking deeper. So now I'm on a whole other thing. Like it really, it took some time, but I really can't see a person as attractive until I'm attracted to like more about them than just what they look like. So I guess I evolved. I had to evolve just because of like just
Mhm.
anxieties and depressions and stuff like that I had to go through, because I'm like, man, like every time I've been in a relationship, it's just going terribly wrong. And it was, some of it was my fault, like some of them were my fault because like I just wasn't happy and I didn't know how to deal with it. But I know now, like it's more about like the connection than just like, what somebody look like, how they make you feel, like tinglies or whatever. Like it ain't about that. It's about a real connection. And so I think, yeah, you sell yourself short if you just looking at like these single qualifiers. Like now, yeah, I not okay. I'm not just. You can't be just like out here ugly. Like you have to take care of yourself. Like that. So you can't just be like, I don't care like about looks per se, but I'm not just gonna settle for somebody who don't even like try to make themselves look decent. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. But I can't tell the homies this. Like they looking at what they looking at. And that's them. They gonna continue in them same paths, and that's their life. I can only live my life. And I'm hoping that maybe they can see what, like, too many of my friends later down the road be like, man, I should have listened to you. Man, I should have listened to you. Man, I should have listened to you. And I'm just like, okay. What you want me to do? Like, what you want me to turn back time for you? Like, okay.
Okay. Okay. So okay, I have a very like serious question I want to ask you, and I want a serious answer. And I don't want you to take this question as if like no attack, okay? And I would never attack you, okay? I just want a serious answer, okay? As you evolve as a person, right? You say you
Uh-huh.
evolved,
Yes.
and do you
Yes.
believe like in your younger years before you were the evolved person that's sitting next to me today, not sitting next to
Right.
me? Do you feel like that you associated uh whiteness or non-black women with success? Like it was like a trophy for you, or like what do you feel like? Why do you feel like black men? Not all, because I'm from Monroe, where I'm not saying we don't have
No, I see what you're
equality.
saying.
It's just not on the level that it is maybe where I am now.
No, I
And
see
I
what you're
often
saying.
wonder because when I used to teach, right, I taught at a very diverse school, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so even though they all were friends, at the end of the day, when we have we go into the lunchroom or you have an assembly, like not that they weren't friends, but like all the black kids would be together, all the white kids would be together, all the Asian kids, all the Hispanic kids. Now it doesn't it's not that they didn't, mix up, but it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you go with who you're comfortable with, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
it seems as if men want to say when it's time to have find love, it's like, oh, we can't help it. But you can help who you found as a friend, but you couldn't help who you fell in love with. And I just don't buy that because I feel like it would be both ways if it was just that natural thing. And that means that black women would be just as likely. Like things I think about when interracially thinking is I want to have a child that reflects me. You know what I'm saying? I think about the idea that I don't want to bring a child into a situation where the other family might not accept her because she has my skin color. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think about, are we gonna mix our society? Like, I just have met so many guys of other races, and I have all these questions, and I just wonder, like, how do black men do this so freely without thinking about the fact that you might bring a kid in that looks nothing like you, you know what I'm saying? Or you might put them in a situation where their family doesn't accept them because they have your skin tone, or
Yeah.
I just I don't see how you date so freely. You say, well, love is love. I don't subscribe to that because I think it should be somewhat. Why stress yourself out for the rest of your life? when you could easily just work. Now, if you met somebody that both of y'all, I guess both of y'all vibe and the families love each other, that's one thing. But it wouldn't happen so often as it happens if that was the case. Because like I've seen it where they allow them to call them out of their name, the N word. I saw a guy who made a T-shirt that said, "This shirt is 100% cotton, and I'm picking it." Come on now, that's ridiculous. They're taking pictures in cotton fields, or you make a video about this is how to date a black guy. It's like what? Like, is he a
Oh,
science project, or is he the person that you
oh,
dating? And so it
yes.
makes me wonder, like, what's going on in black men's head that they feel like this is okay, like this is okay behavior. And okay, you don't have to answer the question if you feel like
Oh shit. Oh, excuse my language. That's. I mean, it's a lot. I give you my opinion, but I can't really. Yeah, I can't speak for anybody. My daughter is mixed race. She's black and she's Mexican. I try to avoid saying she's half anything because she is black. The world is gonna look at her and say you're a black girl. She is a Mexican girl. Like half of or like part of her DNA is from Mexican culture. So like there's that, and so to me, love is love. Me and that person had like what felt like a strong connection at the time. We didn't really think about what our family thought. We didn't care about what the world thought about it. We knew we was in love, and we knew that we wanted to have a kid together. So we did that, and like I don't regret that at all. I've dated black women, I've dated white women, I've dated Mexican women, I've dated Brazilian women. Um,
why are you turning
now,
off?
and so I
I
guess to
can't hear now.
answer your question,
I don't know.
can you hear me?
She turned it off, so I couldn't hear you. Okay, there you go.
So,
Brazilian women usually black, but okay.
so I guess to answer your question, why do black men feel like it's a privilege, or why do they feel like it's a trophy or something like that? So I kind of relate that to a little bit of my experience growing up in Arizona. Like, Arizona is very much like you could tell it used to be a part of Mexico because there's a lot of Mexican people here. And I mean, I'm not gonna front. Like, I mean, just women in general. Like, I love women. Like, women just have like,
I said,
you
do
know.
they?
Do they what?
Okay. I'm just not getting your answer. Hold on, I'm sorry. Like women, okay. Okay, I think we caught up now. So you say you just like women in general.
Right.
I'm
So I love
sorry, it's
women
a
in general.
delay.
And so to like, I
But that's
guess,
always the answer. But
so,
okay. Okay.
so to
I'll
answer
take
like
your
your
answer that
question,
you just like women in general.
well, I wanted to say
And
more.
so you say you just like women in general.
Right. So I love women in general. And so to like, I guess.
But okay.
So to answer like the question, well, I want to say more.
Okay. So you can say more. You can say,
All right.
like I said, it's on
Sorry, it's so
delay. I'm
awkward.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, it's so awkward. But so to answer your question about like why do black men feel like it's a trophy, I will say that like because of just my fascination with women, because of my fascination with like the Selena movie and stuff like that. When I came to Arizona, I'm seeing these Mexican women. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful. Just like kind of admiring them, and they very racistly are like, don't even look at me, kind of thing. So the first time one gave me some attention, I'll admit it did make me feel a little bit special. So there's that. Like I didn't take it too far. Like it's still what it is. I mean, they're all the same to me. Like I won't say they're all the same to me. Like there's some like a different connection I know I have with black women just because we share the same struggle. But as far as like connecting with a person, that don't really matter. And I know now better to like let some non-black woman just like try to make me feel special just because she picked me out of all the other Negroes in the room. Black women just because we share the same struggle. But as far as like connecting with a person, that don't really matter. And I know now better to like let some non-black woman just like try to make me feel special.
Okay. I take the answer. I know it's weird. It's such a delay, but I can't
Yeah,
hear
I'm sorry.
you when you talking live, so I had to listen to it and then respond. Okay, I'll take your answer. I think it's deeper than that. I will go through that, but that's not what this show is about. But yeah, so I guess that we can agree that it's okay to look for somebody that maybe is on the same playing field as you, because if I make a certain amount of money, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So then if I go and date, I think it's a difference between like a $10,000 difference. Like if I make 100,000 a year, you make 90, you know, no big deal. But if I make 100,000 a year and you make 35, maybe maybe you should date somebody in your income, not you, but date somebody in income bracket. So I think we got to think about what we're talking about here. Like, of course, 90,000, 100,000, no biggie. But if it's too drastic, I could understand somebody wanting to date somebody, in their income bracket, because I mean, the more money you make, the more money you spend most of the time. And so you're gonna want somebody that you're not gonna always have to, you know, pick up the
Yeah,
difference with. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it just is what it is. It's just like if you're really a healthy person and you eat right and you exercise, you're more than likely to want somebody else that eat right and exercise. And no one should villainize you for that, because that's what you are. So if I worked hard, I was disciplined, and I got my income to a certain amount, I shouldn't be it shouldn't be looked in a negative light that I want somebody that also was disciplined enough and worked hard to get to where I'm at, because we have similar we could probably relate to each other a lot.
so think like an athlete's wife, or you know what I'm saying, like a person who's married to like an athlete or in a
I
relationship with
can
an
hear you
athlete. Hey,
now.
so think of like a person who's like, in a relationship with the athlete, like a professional athlete. That professional
Mhm.
athlete, if they're LeBron, let's take LeBron, not like LeBron James, but somebody like LeBron James who really watches what they eat. Some athletes don't care about what they eat, but some do. Watch everything they eat. They exercise all the time. Their body and their health is very important to them. Their partner might not share those same values as strong. They're not in the gym all the time every day trying to keep like to the top. And I feel like that just the same way as levels with that, it could be the same with like income. It's more about your values. Like, okay, so what type of
I beg to
home do you want
differ.
to live in?
I beg to differ. I say an athlete is gonna pick a naturally fit person also, and that those women that they date are always in shape, and most people
Have you
aren't
seen
even
Tim
that.
Duncan's wife?
I have not. I have
Look at
not.
her. She's not.
So she's the
I love
she's the
Tim
out
Duncan, but
she's the
she's not.
she's the outlier. She's not the standard.
All
So
right.
I mean, most of them are gonna go for a fit woman too, and they're gonna want somebody that, because when I come home, I want somebody that can cook for me while I'm on that they can cook and keep me in the same regimen that I'm in while I play basketball. Right? I want somebody that's not gonna be trying to bring me cake.
Oh, I could just hire a chef.
But they don't want nobody that's gonna be trying to encourage them to eat cake. And I don't know, y'all kind of weird, but I'm being kind of weird. So you might would go for it. So just as long as they have a certain look. So we're gonna let that go. But I
All
don't
right.
see anything wrong with a woman that wants a man that's on her level, especially because we're raised to look for providers, which at least we should be. And so it'd be
See, I
natural not to
disagree with
want
that
to.
right there. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
when and part as part of your like review, you were saying like, like
Mm-hmm.
men should take the lead. I don't necessarily agree with that. And like please believe I'm an alpha and all like other facets of life. But when I'm in love, like I do let a woman take the lead. That was one of the strengths of like relationships I've had, like being with a strong woman who's able to
Uh-huh.
like speak up and say what she wants and say how she
Right.
feels and say like, the direction that she wants to go.
That's
I'm
what
a
I said.
I'm a great supporter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Okay.
great supporter of that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so it's kind of a personal thing for me. Like I think that's absolutely fabulous when a woman is like, look, I'm gonna take the lead. As far as
Mm-hmm.
a provider, like, roles can exist or not exist in anybody's household. Like we ain't gotta put we are the providers of this home. Right. Like you can really get out of that mindset if you really want to. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
look at everything like you're the provider, you're the servant, or whatever the hell the other person would be in that situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, you can really get rid of those like labels or stereotypes if you really want to commit. I don't want to sound like the preacher, like I ain't really into the church, but if you like submit to love, you really can just like give a damn to what the world want to think and say about your relationship. Oh, you make more money than him. What that say about you? It say I'm in love with him. That's what it say. I ain't
That
broke, by the
is
way. Like I y'all
okay.
y'all gotta
It,
let me like
I think that I think that is really cute in theory, what you just said. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times that it just doesn't work the other way around.
Because people
I
don't
think
people don't
I
get
think a
together for
50-50.
love.
No,
Because
no, no,
people
no.
don't get together for love.
I think a 50-50 relationship can work, but it has to be 50-50 all the way around. Like
What is
if I
50-50? What is 50?
okay,
50% of
100
what?
100 because I know that's what you're trying to go with it. 100
Right.
100.
100,
But okay,
100%.
so but yeah, but see, that's not what normally happens. So if I'm married to somebody, okay, and we both are waking up in the morning and with the kids getting them ready. You cook on Monday, I cook on Tuesdays. You help clean, I help clean. Like it's that's not traditional, but it's a 100% relationship. That's one thing. What ends up happening in a lot of relationships now, of course, you can always name somebody. My homegirl down the street, her and her husband, they
Right.
100
Right.
100. My friend
Right.
Chris that came on here, I feel like I don't know them personally, but I feel like he just seems like such a hands-on person. I feel like he would be an example of a guy that just puts in a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be hands-on. He's gonna help with the kids.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. But a lot of times what happens is the woman still has the responsibility of the kids, of making sure everybody's fed, and then they paying 50% of the bills. You know what I'm saying? And then when we ask you to be 100, that means loyalty also. Like a lot of women, back in the day, they allowed their husbands to cheat because they knew that this person was. And I say allow, but it is what it is. Because that person was taking care of the home, and so they was like, well, all my bills paid. You may have had them once, but I got my time. You heard the song. We
Oh man.
can't sing those same songs because we paying for half of this. You know what I'm saying? So you need to bring 100% of your loyalty into this relationship. Also,
Yeah.
he said
Yeah.
it. His wife has 3 kids, so it's not as easy to get back in shape as people think. Yeah, she's
Right.
had 3 kids, so I'm pretty sure she didn't start off like that. So like we looking at her post children, and we're making
Oh,
judgment.
Tim Duncan wife. Tim Duncan
Yeah,
wife. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. Let me stop. I apologize.
there you go. Bring it back. Go ahead. Know what you were saying?
So two women, I got to shout out two black women. I know you said we can always bring up somebody, but two women that were very important in my evolution. My black mother and my black sister. These black women are incredible. My mom went like my whole so after my father, she went probably I was 18 years old when she decided the man that I knew she was like dating him, that she was gonna like marry him. Not to put their business in the street, but she makes quite a bit more money than him, and they marry for love. You know what I'm saying? They have a great relationship where it's like equal responsibility in the house. Like they do. They're have a stepsister who's like doing some things. They take care. They foster children and they take care of those children together. My sister also waited a while.
I,
Her husband, they are like absolutely, you know what I'm saying, inseparable, tight, and they do everything together. These people have taught me like what love looks like. So it's a thing. Like it's possible. You got to be willing to wait for it. You got to be willing to work for it. But it's possible. And if you settle in, that's your fault.
okay, so when you say, and I know you don't want to give numbers, but when you say that your mom makes more than your dad, because that's the same situation I grew up in. My mom
Mm-hmm.
out earned my dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The difference is my dad still paid all the bills in the house,
I'll put it this way. This man has zero retirement savings. My mother is ready to retire now and she ain't never got to work a day in her life. She's still working because it's play money for her. That's the difference. So he's pulling it. He's pretty much paycheck to paycheck. She's like, don't even worry about it. I got us when you ready to retire. That's the difference. Like it is real love in the house.
Oh, that's real love. Okay, okay, okay. Well, real love can look different, different ways.
It does.
But
It
what
looks
I was
different.
gonna say is, what I was gonna say is like my mom and dad, like I said, were my example, and my dad made less than my mom or whatever, but my dad had 2 jobs, and he was
Mm-hmm.
a provider. You know what I'm saying? Like he I don't know, I felt like he understood his role, and he made sure. Like my mom did pay bills, but she paid her personal bills, and she might have caught a light bill. And she said the only reason why she started paying the light bill is when he got laid off. Back in the day, had all those not construction. What is it? Warehouse jobs, whatever you call it, or plant.
Factories and stuff like
He had a
that.
plant
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
and when he got laid off from his plant job, it's a transition. She's like, "I'll pay the light bill,"
Yeah.
and she find your second one, then she end up just getting stuck with the bill because she
Yeah.
paid it at one time. And I guess
Yeah.
I use my parents as my role model, like you use your parents as your role
Mm-hmm.
model or whatever. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
my dad work 2 jobs to make sure the household was taken care of. And so when I look to what what men want compared to what they offer, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you know that's where the lines get blurred. And so
Yeah.
if I say if a woman wants to date a man that makes less than her, I don't feel like that makes her less than a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. Not at
Because she
all.
wants to wait. Now you going out again because she wants to date a man that makes less than her. But if a woman states, just like if a man states that he wants this type of woman, and we can't judge him and say that makes him less than a man, we can't judge that woman and say she's lost, she's missing out, da 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 da. Uh, because she decides that she wants to date somebody that makes the same amount of money that she makes. Agreed. Good. Good. But I she said agreed. I mean he said agreed. Okay. Kendra agrees with you, I guess. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and so we can just basically say that be careful who you date, be careful who you bring around your kids. Don't feel the need to have part of a man just to have a man. And if we don't judge people by their past, but if somebody has a violent gun charge, like be careful with these people, right? Because you introduce them to your family, and unfortunate situations like this happen where he was being selfish and he decided that $1,400 was worth 4 people's lives, and that's just sad, and that's that's not acceptable. All right, so let's move on to the next and the last topic is Kirk Franklin. Okay, and if y'all want me to play the audio, I will. But the Kirk Franklin and his son. So what happened is my favorite audio. Kirk Franklin's son set him up, and he recorded him. Not at the beginning of the conversation, in the middle of the conversation, where Kirk Franklin was going off and saying, uh, basically, he a BAN. I try not to curse. BA ninja. And he would break his foot off in his A or whatever, and
His son?
and yeah, he said to his son, yes, he's a BAN, a B. You fill it in for yourself. And Kirk Franklin went off. So a lot of people were disappointed because they feel like Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer and he's never really sung, but he's a part of gospel. And that, he has a responsibility to handle the situation differently because of his position. And I'm gonna let Jeremy start this off before because I care about, men having a voice. So I'm gonna let Jeremy start this off before I get my input on it. And I think we probably agree. Hopefully, we can agree on this. Go
Hopefully,
ahead, Jeremy.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully we do. I mean, I love me some Kirk Franklin. I knew he was like an inch away from an MF a long time ago, but church people curse more than most people I know, so there is that. Like, come on now, and then also at the end of the day, he's a father, and like that's his relationship with his son. So I don't think nobody got no right to like speak on how we communicate with his son. Pretty much all I got. Church people curse more than most people I know.
That's true.
There is that. Like, come on now. And then also
I'm on a delay.
father, that's his relationship with his son. So I don't think nobody got no right to like communicate with his son. Pretty much all I got.
Okay. So there has been people that said that this shows the toxic relationship between black men and their sons, and that they're not. They're not. Okay, so this is my view. Before I go there, this is my view. I felt like he set Kirk Franklin up, and then the man laughing in the background. She said with his friend that he was trying to get a reaction out of him, and that he laughed shows that that's not the typical behavior of Kirk Franklin. That he was hyped up to do that. And even if it is, if you're a 33-year-old man and you only, do sound bites of a conversation, you don't say what you said. And then he told his dad, F you, which is a level of disrespect that I can't imagine my child ever verbalizing to me, and I probably would just pulled up. I say pull up. I probably would just pulled up at that point. But shame on his son. Unicorn said shame on his son. So you know, I don't judge Kirk Franklin because not because because that's not our place, but it's just because this man is 33 years old. He was being disrespectful towards him. I think that he's a kid outside of his marriage, and what I've seen in my experience is that sometimes kids are you think a kid are getting and they having this perfect life, being in the household. Me coming from a blended family, like my dad had kids. And these were the conversations I had, with my sisters that wasn't raised in my house, that they think we're riding unicorns, in the house. And so you being outside in, you kind of get this feeling of like I'm missing out on something. I didn't get that. So then you had this animosity towards, and I'm all here. I'm guessing. Of course, I don't know because I don't know the man. But then you had this animosity towards them because you feel like that they are like I said, you feel like that they're living a life that you should have lived, and so you don't allow that up. You don't let up on that because you feel like I got the short end of the stick. And on top of that, they had him as teen parents, so teen parents not as attentive, not as because they're still young themselves. So I think he has a lot of resentment, but I think he's the only person that can fix that. And it's not that, maybe he's wrong. Maybe he is right about a lot of things that happen in their life and he feels like it's not fair. But to be fair, at 33, you got the choice to sink or swim. So either you
Yeah.
address it and you fix it and you move forward with what things are because you can't go
Hell
back,
yeah.
you can't change things, or you decide to live in that anger and you take
Yep.
sound bites of your daddy cursing you out
Right.
at 33 years old. So that's my take on it. And I think that I don't see anything wrong with what happened. Don't
I
bring
don't
family
disagree.
business to the public. Okay, I can hear you again. Don't bring family business to the public. I agree with porn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jeremy, I want to thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here today. I'm sorry I know it's real awkward because I can hear you. I was waiting on a delay to respond.
I try to do
Let
better.
StreamYard go because this is the second week that I haven't been able. That's how I ended up doing it. Coming to America. Because Coming to America was supposed to be a male and a female or whatever, but my stream got cut short because no one could hear me because of StreamYard. And
Mm.
so I ended up just going live by myself. I just gave my commentary of Coming to America because I needed a video for the week. So I'm trying to hit my 4,000 watch hours. So if you want to watch a couple videos, by all
I'm.
means.
I've been on it. I've been studying Melissa. I've been studying the Melissa brand. Believe
Okay,
me.
thank you. But my name is
Yeah.
gonna be changing. I am gonna be doing the Bossaholics series where I'm gonna focus on women who are stay-at-home moms who make money full time from their homes, and I want to teach women how to do that. So if you want to help if you're married and your husband says he can't afford for you to be home full time without having a job, this is a way you can generate income. If you're a single parent like myself, who I was trying to figure out how do I drop my kid off at school and pick them up and work a job. So now I just work from home so that I have my freedom to pick her up and drop her off. Like this is I just want to teach you how to make the money, from home and still be able to have your life and pay your bills. So,
Sounds like some
um,
good stuff.
but so my Bossaholic series is starting next month, and I will be rebranded. I'm taking Melissa's Cricket Creation out of it. It's probably just gonna be Melissa Creates or something like that because Cricket doesn't pay me. So I don't want that name in my. But we got definitely. If you let me know when we can schedule a time to do the male perspective of my review. We want to talk about. Uh, what you think of what I said. I know
You
you
really
feel
want to
like
know what Okay, if you really want to know, we'll do it.
you think. I know you said I was a feminist, which
I didn't say that.
oh,
I
okay.
just agree with the dude who said it. I just agree with the dude who said
He said
it.
I was a sexist. He didn't say I
He
was.
said you sound. Did he say you sounded sexy, or did he say you are? Because I think you sounded that way. I don't think you are, but I think you just sounded that way.
I might come off as that way, but it is what it is. I mean, I gave my opinions of it. Some of it is relevant and it's true, but
I gave my opinion, and it's true. All right.
but it's all love. At the end of the day,
I
it's all
hope
love.
so.
But
I know it is, and that's why I ain't too mad about it.
but We can do a male perspective of how you feel. You know the lead role, the guy who played Prince Hakim's son. He is a drag queen. So,
Oh, is he?
well, no, but he dressed up like a woman, so that makes him a drag queen. But
Well, Eddie
he said,
Murphy did that too.
he said he did it for charity. But
Eddie Murphy did that. Martin Lawrence did that.
Eddie Murphy
Or
also got caught with a transsexual. So I mean, you can use
uh
him
huh.
for example. But I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of makes my point. But
Chris Rock did it.
Chris Rock.
Uh,
Did
Martin Lawrence.
you want me to answer
I'm
that?
just
You want me
I'm just saying like this. They do it too.
Oh, okay, and I have the same feeling about them. So I mean,
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just making sure you're consistent. All right.
I'm consistent. Yeah, I think it all is like more.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that if these people with these millions of dollars want to talk to me, I'd be like, no. You know what I'm saying? It just means that I still feel like they straggling these lines. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I appreciate you on here today. Sorry that the audio was bad. We're gonna leave StreamYard alone. I'll send them an email, let them know that this is the second week in a row that we've had these issues. And we're gonna have to do the video, and I'm gonna teach you how to do a craft, and so you can craft along with me. You can't hear
Me?
me? Yeah,
No, you talking about me? Okay.
yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna
down.
teach you how to do a craft, so you can craft along with me, and we're gonna make it a true crafting, sipping craft, and we're gonna discuss coming to America male perspective and
Civilly.
curls. We appreciate you to coming back. Uh,
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's
yeah, at
always
this
fun.
point, I'm just riding the clock with my watch time hours. But, but thank you for coming. Definitely have to get with you, get your email address or something, so that we can
Yeah,
set
holla at me.
up the recording of the Coming to America, and we can go from there. All right. So guys,
Okay.
until next time, if you have not joined Boss Beginnings, please do. You too. You want to join Boss Beginnings? Join Boss Beginnings. We got a lot of great things going on in there. And as I always say, until next time, guys, stay
Stay
crafty.
crafty.